But the first day at school, it wasn't Mrs. Edwards, but the teacher, she said, we're going to start you off with a quick fire exam just to see where you're going to fit in the realms of the world. Not like these days where there's no winners and losers. She said, Andrew, we'll give you questions on English, biology and art. Now, can you start off, make a sentence with the letter I in it? Started off, I is. She goes, no, Andrew, I am. I'll help you with the first question, but this is it. Okay. I am the 9th letter of the alphabet. My wife, Lenore, still doesn't get that one. Then she went on to the biology question. It said, how can you delay milk from going sour? And she gave me a slap round the ear when I said, leave it in the cow. And then she said, well, let's try art. And she said, I want you to draw a picture of the first thing that comes into your mind. And I'm not that quick. Thanks, God. And then she came over and said, what are you drawing a picture of? And I said, I'm drawing a picture of God. She says, but nobody knows what God looks like. And I said, well, they will in a minute. It was a long day. I got home. Mum asked, how did you find school? Oh, here we go again. I said, I just got off the bus and there it was. So Mum sent me over to the woolshed and this is fair dinkum that there was Wong and Murray Denison were sharing lambs. And Murray goes, Andrew, I just lost a blow. Could you give me a hand to find it? So I looked for a while, but I had no luck. But then he said, I'll bet you 50 cents I can share that lamb blindfolded. And I thought, oh, maybe today's finally going to come round my way. I thought, this guy's sillier than a school teacher. No, I appreciate there's obviously a number of school teachers here and I think we should give them credit. But if we gave them a pay rise, they wouldn't need credit. Anyway, foolishly, I agreed with Murray that he could share around the lamb's eyes so that he didn't damage the animal. And yes, he proceeded to put the blindfold on the sheep and shear it. It's a valuable lesson that I've held on to for 35 years. And it only costs 50 cents. Or about 1.5 cents a year. Those of you who probably on to more serious things now, who know my mother, Kath Templeton, who know how much she's contributed to this area over the years. She's not here tonight because unfortunately the Omika School reunion was before this, and she went to the evening function there and she said the speakers were all boring or went on. And when I said I'd been chosen after Andrew Cowie, she's still not here. Anyway, after one of her, probably her last projects in Tarras was a significant role in the book Tapestry of Tarras, in making the cushions and then the book, and apparently they're still on sale. And I thought that was an appropriate project for a group of aging rural women, but only because in Middlemarch, and apparently it's nationwide, that the rural women now are getting plaster casts of their breasts. And I might be old school, but that just seems totally inappropriate. Although some of them, apparently, Lenore was taking photos of Middlemarch and said you could probably use some of them for rain gauges. But getting back to the Tapestry of Tarras, Rebecca, I think the only reason after Cowie got asked was that I'd written a poem for that book, and Rebecca asked me to read it. It's kind of a summary of the area. I've tried to wipe out the bit of that's more about our own family farm, or our old family farm. But anyway, difficult to imagine how the site must have been in autumn 1858 through the eyes of Jock McLean. A vast expanse of tussock as far as the eye could see, from the summit of Grandview Mountain. That's just what it would be. Unbeknown at the time the legacy he'd leave, as he made a rough sketch of the land he'd be granted deed. 400,000 acres, now Dalrachnie to Clyde Dam, Clutha River boundary, and to the east beyond the horizon it ran. Introduced the first merino, severe climate it could withstand. Arguably the finest fine-wool country was mapped by Jock McLean's hand. But where the merino flourished, the rabbit thrived better still. Their descendants continue to plague flat, valley and hill. Gold rush soon to follow, anticipation high, but a land unforgiving, winters could make you cry. Alluvial, then quartz, some fortunes were made, mostly servicing the miners who as gold they were paid. Then the era of Dalgety, many a manager made his name. The last R.K. Smith left his mark, as had McLean. Secured a prominent holding when the subdivision began, and time had Morven Hills, Cluden, Forest Range, Melbourne Downs to Maryland. Brought life to the desert with the irrigation scheme, distinguished sheep breeder, on gums he was keen. Donated the church ground, Mrs. Smith the Bell, did a lot for this district. There was a lot more you could tell. It was the 28th of February 1910 when they balloted the run blocks, but much before then. More than 40 years prior, the first section sold. William Bell I, Bellevue, for 90 years they'd hold. Then 1964, Blacksmith from Albertown could only afford it because the house was a bit run down. Not a shelter belt, fences far between, literally pots when it rained, 4 kids to keep clean. Long summer days, school grounds eternally green. Fond childhood memories, remember short winters between. Sheltered from the inimical world, the Metropolitan Zoo, in the words of the late G.P. Duff, sheep may safely graze there too. When questioned my origin, was once way down south, shop in a garage, not a hell of a lot else. But when Tarras is mentioned, not often a blank stare. The majority know someone, passed through or been there. Difficult to imagine how the site must have been in autumn 1858 through the eyes of Jock McLean. Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen,